Everybody, welcome in. This is the Texas Clubhouse. We're going to talk about the Texas Rangers all quarter century team. Let's talk about where we're getting this from. Levi Weaver, I don't know him. I hear nice things about him. Whatever. He's a writer. He writes about the Texas Rangers for the Atlantic and New York Times. He is a DFW guy. At least I believe he is. Anyway, Texas Rangers all quarter century team, the 26-man roster of the club's best since 2000. I liked this very much. It was a fun article to read. And so we're going to talk about that. But first, let's talk about, well, you probably know me if you're on my channel. My name's Jeff. Hey, everybody. And who are these people? Well, I'll let the video that I made tell you, and then we'll talk to them. Let's meet tonight's roundtable guests. This is Haley. She is my friend, Texas Ranger superfan, one of the best autograph hounds in all of DFW. Follow her on X at Texas_Haley. This is Kane McCutcheon, credentialed Rangers beat reporter. You can read his articles at Fans First Sports Network. Make sure you follow him on X also. If you ever want to see him at the games, just look up really high. And this is my buddy Rip. He's the owner, writer of the Texas Baseball Report. He's also the founder of Rip Griffin Digital Marketing. Follow him on X here. So there you go. Let's just go around and say hello to everybody and see what's going on today. Haley, how'd you feel about me calling you an autograph hound? Because you are.
I don't like that term, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Why don't you like the term? I
got autograph hound.
Well, give me
hawk. Hawk sounds better than hound, I think, but I don't know.
Somebody round that down. I'll try to. I've always called an autograph
person. I don't know.
I will say, whether you want to be called it or not, whatever you are, autograph, whatever the next word is, you're number one that I've ever seen. It's unbelievable. I'm standing next to her. How many times has this happened, Haley? I'll let you give the number. I'm standing next to you before pregame, and either you see or I say, hey, there's that guy, or you say, hey, there's that guy, whatever. And 5 minutes later, you've got his autograph and his wife's phone number, and I don't know. You're unbelievable with that.
Countless numbers of times. My favorite though, Ray Davis. Thank you for pointing him out.
That was a great one. Yeah, that's a fun story. Actually, we'll tell it another time. But that's a fun story. I'm a little jealous of that one. Actually, I'm not like I have some autographs. I'm not like you. But when you went over there and you got, I'm like, why didn't I go? I want that one actually. But anyway, that's pretty cool. Good stuff. It's fun to hang out with you at the ballpark. Rip Griffin, the Texas Baseball Report, and other things. I'll let him tell you about that. Rip is my favorite go-to for college baseball. I'm guessing you're going to get pretty busy right about now. Your last article was about the Longhorns. I don't remember which regional they went to, but whatever. Rip, say hello and tell them about you.
Yeah, so the Longhorns are headed to the Austin Regionals, and the regional starts tomorrow at 1:00. So a fun game against Houston Christian. So I think that's gonna be a good game. But yeah, you can follow me over the Texas Baseball Report. I'm a digital marketer as well, so follow me over Griffin Digital Marketing as well. But yeah, baseball marketing and all that good stuff. That's my jazz, man.
Love it. I love it. I'm going to talk about the marketing at some point because I want more people to find all of us. But that's a whole other conversation too. And then bottom right corner, he's on the bottom right today, but at the ballpark, he's up top in the press box, which I'm jealous face. I want to be credentialed. Kane McCutcheon, how are you, buddy? How's your day going?
I'm good, going well. Nice off day, first off day in a minute. So we enjoy those. It's been nice. It's been really good, well spent. Hopefully for the team as well.
Who needs it more? Somebody who writes about them every day, or somebody who's actually doing the swinging and missing? Who do you think?
Definitely someone that does the swinging and missing. I sit there and watch a baseball game every day. Not the hardest job in the world.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a pretty good gig. Yeah, I want to pick your brain on that one sometime. 25 people here live. Oh, mostly people on X, a couple people on YouTube and Twitch. We'll get them larger numbers over there shortly, hopefully. Kane, Haley, Rip, we're going to talk about this article by Levi Weaver. The Texas Rangers all quarter century team, club's best since 2000. Let's just get right into it, right? Is the catcher going to be the easiest one? Yes, it is. Do we even need to talk about this one, Haley? Is anyone besides Irod even in the atmosphere of this question?
Absolutely not. That's it. Pudge.
No, it's all him.
I posted out about this video, or that we're going to do this show. I think it was last night, and Somebody said I better mention Gino Petralli, so I'm mentioning Gino Petralli, but I don't know. I don't even know if he'd be the backup actually. Rip Kane, what do you think? Irod.
Yeah, pretty straightforward for me.
Yeah, have to be.
Yeah, I think 13 gold gloves. Somebody actually, I saw this also. I'll throw this out there. I saw this on X. If you have Ricky Henderson on base and you know he's going at first base and you can put any catcher behind the plate to try to get him, who are you going to pick? It's Irod, right? I mean, is there anyone that's in the history of the game, let alone maybe bench in the history of the game, but certainly in his era? I mean, there was an argument early on in their careers, Piazza, Irod. I think as Irod's offense got better, Irod became the best of his era. And I don't know. I loved Piazza too. I was a fan, but anybody disagree with any of that? Or was he the best, not only on the Rangers, but of all of baseball?
No disagreement here.
Yeah, I think he was the best of all of baseball. Yeah, no.
Yeah, as someone who definitely was not old enough to watch him play in his prime, from what I hear, can confirm, yeah.
So I bet you're old enough to remember this. I don't remember the event, but he came out to throw out the first pitch, but instead of doing that, he went behind the plate and fired it to, I guess it was Michael Young. That was cool. I bet you saw that. Good stuff. And it just hit me when you said that. You're all 12 years old. Okay, maybe not 12, but compared to me, you're all 12 years old. Did any of you guys get to see Irod with your own eyes playing? Wow.
No.
That was my issue with a lot of this list. Or not a lot, but a handful. I didn't get to see like Mark Teixeira.
Wow. Well, yeah, Teixeira was the beginning too. Yeah. Well, and that's a good segue right there. Let's move to first base. Mark Teixeira was Levi's choice. What a trade, right? We get Elvis and Neftali and Matt Harrison in exchange for Teixeira. We had it at the same time that it wasn't. Well, I was going to say maybe you guys don't remember, but I think if I have it right, Blaylock and Teixeira were both prospects coming up at the same time, and what we're going to do. And obviously, Teixeira moved over to first because we were both third basemen, but then we ship them off. I hope I have that right. I might not have that right. We'll start at the bottom right this time, Kane. What are your thoughts on Tex and or is there anybody else that should make this squad?
No, I had Mark Teixeira pretty easily. Actually, for me, I mostly remember him as a Yankee because when I first started watching baseball, he was with the Yankees. But hard to argue with that. I actually have one of his autographed baseballs that I have nowhere to put, so I need to find somewhere to put that in my collection because I was looking at, obviously looking at his stats, and when he was with the Rangers, the best offensive seasons from a first baseman. And I remember talking to someone about this not too long ago, but the Rangers, other than him, it's been a minute since they've really had that defined first baseman that's been here for a while and really, made his mark. So
yeah, I think Nate Lowe was probably. Obviously, we just what did he man first for 3 years for us? I think that's what it was. Might even been 4, but yeah, nothing.
He was here for 4 years. He was here before 2021. First player I ever met, actually, believe it or not, when I saw him there. Yeah,
is that a story we can hear? Is that a cool one?
Yeah, that's a pretty cool story. It was my first day, and I had someone show me around, and it was actually John Moore. So I don't know if John Moore's listening, but he was showing me around.
Well, I know him through social media, and I've said hi to him at the ballpark. Nice guy.
Yeah, and so he was showing me around, and I went down to the field my first day. It was like the first thing I ever did, and I met Nathaniel Lowe, and he was like still one of the coolest guys that I've interacted with. Was very sad. I don't know. It's different when trades happen, and you actually you know these guys, and like that trade happened. I was like, ouch, like that hurt. Like man,
you're speaking for the whole. Even now with Garcia pitching well and now being our closer. And still people are like, oh, bring me back Nate Lowe, blah, 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 blah. Berger get it 40 home runs this year. People still want Nate Lowe. And yeah, I'm looking right at you, Haley.
I miss him. He broke my heart. The Rangers broke my heart for trading him.
I'm assuming
that was a terrible day.
Yeah, well, come on. I love Nate. Nathaniel, sorry. But Garcia is pretty good. And he's
good. He's a nice guy. I got to meet him out in Cincinnati, so that was pretty cool. But
that's cool.
I still prefer Nate over anything. He was a great face in the clubhouse and great personality.
Wait a while. Berger's a great dude too, and he's gonna mash.
Oh, I know. No shame to Berger.
But back on the 25, Teixeira is the answer, or do you have somebody else you want to throw out there?
So I've got Rafael Palmeiro.
Okay, there we go.
So it kind of changed it up a little bit. I mean, it's 290 batting average with the Rangers, 321 home runs and over 1,000 RBIs. I think that kind of, set the pace for first base with the Rangers. So, Mark Teixeira would be my bench. It'd be my honorable mention in this case. But, the OPS for Palmeiro, 378, 519, and 897. So I think, for me,
Yeah, well, he's one of those guys, and we're going to get in the hole. I
space.
think we just lost. Oh, he's back. I think we lost you there for a second, Rick. But regardless, I think that opens up the question.
Something's wrong with my connect.
Yeah, you're on a little delay there. It's all right. You got a little lag, but we'll get through it. Hey, Braden. Hey, Karam. Hey, Braden in chat. Hope you guys are having a great day. Yeah, I think that opens up the question on should Rafi be in the Hall of Fame, and maybe that's a whole nother show too. But I'll say quickly, yeah, he should. 500 to 3,000. Come on, that's insane. Anybody else on text before we move on to the next position?
I'll say this. I really took into account from 2000 to now, obviously. So, like, for me, if this was, like, overall what they did with the Rangers, Palmeiro would have had a better case. I still went with Pudge just because he had, I think it was 3 or 4 years here after 2000, and he hit above 300 in all of them. Obviously, his prime, he won the MVP in 99, so, like, that was just before Pudge did. But I'll say, like, if we were taking the 90s into consideration, like, yeah, Palmeiro probably would have been my choice as well. It's hard to argue that.
That's fair. And we should say hello to Karam in chat, Braden in chat. Everyday Mets in the house. What's going on, buddy? Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. Nice, Braden. Hope it went well for you. If you're just getting here, we are talking about this article. The top. Oh, I should make sure I know what I'm doing here. The top all quarter century team. Easy for me to say. From 2000 till now. I am too old for this crew, but some of them saw Ian Kinsler, hopefully, and I'm thinking that's probably who most of them will be picking at second base. For me, this is an easy one. Honestly, there's one more position that I think we might have an argument, but I don't see us having, maybe the outfield too, for that matter. But I don't see a lot of arguments in the infield, except for the one. But here we're at second base. It's Ian, but there's a guy named NY we can argue about. What do you guys think about second base? I don't know who I didn't start. Rip, we'll start with you this time. Who do you think makes the team at second base?
I have to agree. Ian Kinsler for me is my choice for second. Key part in 2010 and 2011 for when Rangers going to the World Series. So consecutive. So that would be my obvious choice.
I think so too. Haley?
No disagreement. It's Ian Kinsler.
Yeah. At the end there, everyone was crying about he would pop up so dang much. Here, I'm going to take this off of Kane's face. That's annoying me. Everybody was complaining about that, but this guy was an elite ball player. Well, Kane, what are your thoughts? I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, and you're not catching any disagreement from me either. I know people always ask me now. They say they're like, "Who's your favorite player?" And I never tell them. Like I say, like now I don't have a favorite player. But when I was a kid and I was little, first started watching baseball, Ian Kinsler was hands down my favorite player.
Yeah.
There was no chance that I was picking anyone else.
Yeah, I think he's underrated. I really do. And I think Michael Young is underrated also, but it's just different. And there's a cat butt in your face there, Haley. There you go.
There is.
I love it. All right, let's get back to the article. I think second base was pretty easy, but now we might have a little bit of an argument. Shortstop. Levi says, A-Rod, before you scroll immediately to the comment section, let me just say, I know, but I'm building a team to win. And while Andrews was indubitably a better ambassador for the team, Rodriguez, 3 years in Texas, were otherworldly. Look at the numbers accumulated in 3 seasons. I'm going to even throw out a name. Who was it? Kane said he doesn't want to say who his favorite player. I will. I don't care. I don't write for anybody but me. Corey freaking Seager is my favorite. And one of the most iconic home runs ever. I know he's only been here for a few years now, but I think this position is stacked. Is it Elvis? Is it Corey? Is it A-Rod? Haley, I'll start with you again. What are your thoughts?
Just because of my age, I've got to go with Elvis.
Yeah.
I grew up watching him. That's who I absolutely love. And, hands down, everyone's choosing the third baseman the same. So I'd rather see Elvis and Beltre together again.
You don't think somebody's going to pick somebody besides Beltre? I think that's probably fair.
Who else is there?
Well, Gino Petrelli, but he's down to play. Kane, what are your thoughts? A-Rod, Elvis, Corey, somebody else?
Yeah, I also went with Elvis, and I think for me the reason was too, when I sat down to make this list, I kind of decided that throughout the whole list, I was gonna go more based off of, what they did for the team, how long they were here, and maybe weigh that a little greater than like a guy like A-Rod that was here for a couple years and they were really good. If I was building a team to win, obviously, the best team possible, I probably would have went with A-Rod, but Elvis, like Levi said, ambassador for the team. I mean, was the face of Rangers baseball for, there was that constant presence. He was always there, and really is obviously a top of a lot of categories in terms of the franchise leaderboard. So I went that way. I think it was kind of a decision I had to make at the beginning of how I was going to kind of weigh things, and that's the side I lean towards.
Before I ask Rip, as I hear you guys talking, I loved Elvis. I'm a big Elvis fan. He's not going to be the guy I pick when it's my turn, but I mean, love the guy, love the ball player. Was surprised when the Rangers put him in the Hall of Fame. Kane, since I'm on you, any thoughts on that? Was that a slam dunk for you? Was that a surprise to you? It's a surprise to me.
I don't think it was a surprise or a slam dunk to me. I mean, but then again, my obviously my range of Rangers baseball viewership is a lot slimmer than a lot of other people's. But I mean, look at the franchise leaderboard categories, first in steals, up there in hits, games played at shortstop. Like, I think that was what kind of determined it. And like the Rangers Hall of Fame, when you think about what it is, it's the greatest players that tell the story of the franchise. I don't think you can really tell the story of the franchise without Elvis Andrus.
It's a good argument. That's a really good argument. I like that argument. I still say no, but I like that argument very much. Rip, who's your shortstop? Is it Corey? Is it A-Rod? Is it Elvis? Is it Josh Smith? I don't know.
It's gonna be Alex Rodriguez.
There you go.
I know he was only with the Rangers. For a short time, but I mean, 305, 156, 156 home runs, and 395 RBIs. I mean, so Elvis would be my honorable mention, and I mean, he does lead the franchise in steals, so that's a pretty notable statistic there. But I got to give it to A-Rod.
For me, it's A-Rod. Like, I don't know. You can love him, you can hate him, and my favorite player right now is Corey, and he's elite. And Corey would be way above Elvis for me, but it's A-Rod. Those years were video game years. They were stupid stats. Like, and we all know why, right? We all know why. But I don't know. A guy, he was hitting a lot of bombs. 50 home runs was his average, I think. That's insane. He'd be mine. Corey be too. And I'd have to put Elvis on the team. But wow, that's the best position in my opinion. Yeah, I guess we'll leave it there. Third base, should we even have this argument? Does it matter? Is there anyone else? One of my all-time favorite players in the history of the game, Adrian Beltre. Don't get mad at me. Don't unsubscribe. Don't quit the stream if you're up here. I was a Dodger fan who lived in Southern California and moved out here. And so it was easy for me to be, I love Beltre. I love Beltre when he was in Seattle. I love Beltre when he was in Boston because I love Beltre when he was in LA. He was a monster. Well, maybe not in Seattle, but he was a monster. And, man, him going to the Rangers. And I always liked the Rangers when I lived out there a little bit. That's a whole story that doesn't matter. But, I like guys like Toby Harrah and Buddy Bell, who you guys have probably never even heard of. Maybe you've heard of them, but, maybe not, actually. I don't know. But whatever it is, Josh Hatton, best of all time, says Mike Clark. I've never heard of him, so I'm just going to have to take your word for it. I think Adrian Beltre, the instant Hall of Fame, the recognition that I love that he got. I'm glad that it was here. Hey, Bill, my buddy Bill, he was going to be on the show. It's happy birthday. Will not sing to you, but I happen to know it's his birthday today. Just heading home, Jeff. I won't be able to get. Okay, feeling old watching. Right? Remember Jeff Burrows? All right, Haley, Kane, Rip, of Jeff Burrows, Toby Harrah, and Mickey Rivers. Please tell me you've heard of them.
Can confirm.
Toby.
Yes, I do know all three of those names.
Haley.
I've heard Toby.
Oh, Rip.
No, honestly, I have not as much as I've.
Somebody shoot me in the face. All right. Hey, Jason and House, what's going on, buddy? Was it Young? Yeah, I think Michael Young did play a little bit of third, didn't he? I think he did. I don't know why I'm saying the word think in there. whatever. It's Beltre. It's Beltre. It's Beltre. Does anybody want to argue with that? Should we even have this conversation? Anybody on the panel want to put somebody else's name in the hat? I don't even know. I'm asking. Crickets. Crickets. Russell. Am I Rusty? Do I have to call you Russell? Because I can't do it. My friend Rusty Taylor. Yeah, baby. 74. Rusty. Okay. Watch the panel because they're all way younger than me. Flail at this trivia question. Jeff Burrows, the first Texas Ranger MVP in 1974 in the AL. Who was in the NL? And if you know me, he's my favorite all-time player. Do I need Jeopardy music? Dun-dun. Let them know in chat, people. Dun-dun. NL MVP in 74. Don't Google it. Bill, I know what your face is doing. Same as mine, right? He ran for senator in California this year. He got trounced. Who cares about that part?
Oh my gosh! What is his name? I only know him because he ran for senator. But
Steve Garvey. Yeah, Steve Garvey's my favorite all-time player. Still is. Will always be. Rusty dropping the knowledge. Rusty, I love seeing you here. So I got two of my buddies who are as my age-ish, and they are probably freaking out about the Jeff Burrows talk. Unfortunately, that's the end of the Jeff Burrows talk because we're talking the all-century team 2025. Let's get back to it. Where are we now? So far, it's been pretty easy. Right field. Well, let's just do outfield together. I'm going to scroll so you see it all. Levi's got right field. Do I have this on the screen, right? Yes, I do. Okay, good. Right fielder Nelson Cruz. Not sure there's much argument to be had here either. Shin Soo Choo got on base at a much higher clip, but never approached Cruz's power. Joey Gallo, who I picked for an MVP one year, didn't happen. Okay, we'll move on from that. Center field, Josh Hamilton was Levi's choice. And then the left field gets kind of hard. I'm going to read a little bit more of that. David Murphy, 119 players have gotten at least one start in left field for the Rangers since 2000. Murphy started 482 games there. The next three on the list, Josh Hamilton and Kevin Mensch. He mentions Willie Calhoun. He mentions Chew again, Rusty Greer. What say you guys? I think this is a tough one. That's me. That's not what we wanted to do. Right. Oh, well, that works a little bit. All right. That's what I'm trying. What the heck? That's pretty though. Holy cow. Too many buttons for me to push. I couldn't figure it out. Outfield. What do you guys think? Who wants to start? We'll start with you again, Haley. You can start at any of the three. I don't care. We'll do all three of the outfield, your choice, and then we'll ask Rip, and then we'll ask Kane.
You know, the one that I actually did some searching on, looked at stats for was Nelson Cruz because it's, hammered in my mind that he ruined our first chance at winning a World Series.
Did he?
It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It still hurts.
Never got there without his 100 RBIs.
But other than that, no, everybody, hands down, I'm fine with everyone there. Josh Hamilton was for sure, he's my biggest what if. I really wish he could have had a full career. I wish nothing bad in his personal life would have ever happened, but
yeah,
it happens. And we didn't get to see it. But I'm fine with Cruz, Hamilton, Murphy. That's my outfield. And I'm good with it.
I only have one change, but we'll get to that when it's my turn. Rip, what are your thoughts? Can you hear me now? Rip, what are your thoughts, buddy?
My question is how. Yeah, I got you. How does Juan Gonzalez not make this list at all? In any part of that article, how does Juan Gonzalez not get there? That's my question.
Let me pull it up. What pull up his baseball, Rip.
So I mean, 293, 372 home runs and over 1,000 RBIs. He slugged 565. There we go, and had a 907 OPS. I mean, yeah, him and Nelson Cruz are pretty much neck and neck. But I mean, I think Juan Gonzalez kind of like has like a little step up. I don't know what what do y'all think?
I think the thing with Juan is his career with the Rangers ended before 2000. He was in Detroit by the time we got to 2000. And then he did come back for 02 and 03, but he was only here for 2 years in the quarter century. So for me, that's it. But I mean, Juan was unbelievable. I mean, he hit the ball like one of the best I've ever seen. He was amazing. Lots of love for him. And then what'd you say on the other positions? Hamilton, you agree with Hamilton in center?
Yeah, Hamilton center. Left field. I mean, you can go. I went with Rusty Greer, just because he spent his entire career with the Rangers. Yeah, it's before 2000, but give it to him. I call him Mr. Hustle, Mr. Consistency. So with the Rangers, so that was my only change for left field. But everything else, I'm pretty much spot on.
Yeah, I like Rusty too. Kane, where you at?
Yeah, I have to agree with Levi. Shout out to Levi, who was on the beat my first year on the beat and actually taught me a lot. So shout out Levi. But,
Levi did. Oh, that's cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I agreed with him. I have a funny Juan Gonzalez story though, since we were talking about it.
Let's hear it.
So I think it was 23 when they did the whole like reconciliation between him and the organization, and he came and threw out the first pitch, and I'm sitting up there, and so when he comes out, obviously his walk-up song was the Star Wars theme, right?
Love it.
I didn't know. Like, I never watched him play. I had no idea that was his walk-up song. So, he comes out, and I'm like, why are they playing this Star Wars theme when he's walking out? That's a little weird. So I put it out on Twitter, and everyone just starts roasting me in the comments. You should have known that. That's his walk-up song. I'm having, like, texts from, like, people. I'm like, why are they texting me? Like, how did you not know that? I apologize for not knowing.
Well, I don't know what's the why. Why I don't know why it was Star Wars. Just because he liked it. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess so, but I didn't know that was his walk-up song. But yeah, anyways, outfield. Yeah, have to agree with him. David Murphy, great guy. Love working with him now that he does color. And Josh Hamilton. I mean, 2012 Josh Hamilton was on a run that I didn't see from a Rangers player until Corey Seager in 2023. Like he was just. You couldn't get him out. And then Nelson Cruz, obviously, we know the mishap, but it's very important to remember they would not have even been close to that point if it weren't for Nelson Cruz. So, yeah, I went with him there as well.
I agree with you. For me, left field's rough. I love David Murphy. I love him. I loved him as a player. What I know about the person, he's a phenomenal guy. So I want to pick him. I liked Mitch also, but I think for me, it's probably Greer. I don't know. It's close. I don't know if anybody was watching the broadcast last night, but they talked about this article that Levi wrote, and David Murphy was the color guy, and they asked him about it, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was very self-deprecating and a nice guy. So he's absolutely worthy of it. I just think, that's the hole in our lineup, if you ask me, from 2000 to 2025. There hasn't been a great one, and I will say this: if Wyatt Langford stays in left, we all think he'll probably be the next 25, right? I hope we're not putting too much on him there, but maybe he'll end up in center. Who knows? Or right. I don't know. 50 people are here, 42 on X, 7 on YouTube, 1 on Twitch, watching the All Century team with me, Haley, Rip, and Kane. Make sure you follow them on their Twitters. It's scrolling along the bottom. At the end of the show, I'll ask them to share where you can find them. Where they write, they tweet, they do all the things. My buddy, the birthday boy, I kind of want to sing old school. Oh, Bucky Dent, Grieve, Huff. I love Charlie Huff. Gaylord Perry, Mike Hargrove. My gosh, I guarantee these people don't know about the human highlight or the human delay of game penalty. But Bert be home by 11. Best curveball of my lifetime. Big Frank Howard. Yes, Bill is having a birthday and he's clearly feeling old. He's talking about people from the 1800s here. I love it. Oh, and my computer is yelling at me that it needs to be plugged in. So let me do that before I lose everybody. That would have been bad live. I almost screwed that up. Jason says Nelly and Sierra. So Ruben Sierra, when did he leave us? Ruben Sierra was great. He's a fun X follow now. I think that he was a rookie in 87. I can tell you that. When did he leave us? He would have went to Oakland. No. Yeah, he doesn't quite get here because he's just not here. He retired. Well, he was back with Texas in 2000 and 2001, and then went to Seattle, and then was back for 2003, and then left. I think that he's probably the 25 years that preceded this, probably on that list. But all right, let's get to the next position. Unless anybody want to say anything else about the outfield, who's your designated hitter? To me, this is where you get the choice of, you get MY, you get, I guess for me, I'll just start with me on this one. For me, it would be Seager here, I think, because I went with A-Rod and, Corey freaking Seager. I think he should be on that team for sure. But there's some other names too. MY doesn't get in at second because Kinsler. I guess you could go platoon and put MY against the lefties and Seager against righties, but that's sounds sacrilegious to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Who would be the guy who didn't quite make it that you throw in at DH? We'll start with you, Kane.
I went with Michael Young. I don't necessarily think it was because he didn't quite make it. I mean, just because the lack of a true position, which shows, obviously we know the situations why, like just an ultimate team player. For me, there was no chance that I could have an all 25 quarter century team without Michael Young in the starting lineup. And, I just went with him at DH. That's what we know him for as a hitter, all-time hits leader on the franchise. So went ahead and put him there. I know it's a little bit of a hot take. I know a lot of people aren't going to have, I know we're going to do the bench in a second. I know a lot of people aren't going to have Corey Seager and A-Rod both on their bench, but with the way I kind of weighed then, had to put Michael Young. Yeah,
I mean, anytime you're going to put a team together like this, you're going to have a where does he fit kind of argument. But that's a tough one there. Who's next? Haley, how about you? Who's your next guy to take the DH spot?
Michael Young.
Yeah.
Michael Young.
Michael Young.
Haley and her like, Michael Young, duh. Come on. All right. That's easy enough.
I like Corey. I like your argument for Corey. I have him on my bench.
Yeah. I hope he's not listening. Actually, that's a lie. I would be stoked if he was listening.
You can't talk Rangers baseball without Michael Young.
Yeah.
Well, that's fairly. That's absolutely true. All right, let's you guys are making this too easy on me. I can hit the right buttons. Okay, there we go. I'm button deficient today. So they go with the bench. He goes with a bench of Jonah, Elvis, Corey, and Dolly. Now, obviously, this will all come down to who we picked. For me, this is just when I was doing my list, it was just who did I? Oh, I did that again. Oh my gosh, who did I leave off? And I think that we just had that discussion at DH. I think the backup catcher, I like that it's Jonah. I agree that it's Jonah. I think that the year he had in 2023 was underrated. I think we rode him a little hard there, and 2024 was a step back, and hopefully 2025 is a little more like 2023. So far, so good, I think. We've got some interesting names at catcher behind the plate, and then I think we've already mentioned it. When you've got Michael Young and Corey Seager, that's probably, for me, the infield. And my extra outfielder, it would be the left fielder that we left off, I guess. It'd be Greer or Mensch. I think that was it. I'm not looking at my list, but I think this is what I came up with. What about you guys? We'll go with you, Rip. Anybody who makes the bench for you that we haven't mentioned?
Pretty much everybody that we've mentioned is on my bench. I mean, we talked about Nelson Cruz. He's there for me. Teixeira and Elvis Andrus too. Jonah Heim is a perfect candidate for being behind the plate as a bench player. So I think everybody is pretty much spot on, especially during this time frame. So I wouldn't make any changes. Yeah.
Before we get to the next one, Bill says his real name is Bill. Arkell didn't have MY. It did at DH. If you scroll down, it has him at DH, I believe. Let's go with Haley next. Who makes the team on the bench for you?
So I did switch out Jonah Heim for Mike Napoli.
Okay.
Better stats, and I loved Mike Napoli. I absolutely loved him.
I did too. I thought of him more as a first baseman with this, but that's a fair one. That's a good one.
I loved him at catcher. I also loved him at first. And back to first, I wanted to mention earlier Prince Fielder. That was my honorable mention for first because, I didn't watch Mark Teixeira. But Shin-Soo Choo instead of Adolis Garcia.
Yeah. I didn't mention him, but
I'm putting him out there.
He was underrated, in my opinion, with in the fan base. I think that I don't know that he's getting enough. I don't know. Respect, maybe, is the word I'm looking for. I like that the Rangers brought him in. I don't remember what the event was, but they honored him, the preseason event, and I don't know, his last year being the pandemic year or whatever. I think that was really kind of sad. Just kind of sad. Anyway, I'm going too deep in there. Kane.
Yeah, I also swapped out Napoli for Jonah Heim. I have Seager and A-Rod, obviously. I know a lot of people aren't going to have them off the bench, here, but I went with Elvis, like I explained, just not necessarily trying to have the best team, but trying to, who's done most for the franchise. And then I did go with Adolis Garcia, had the pair of all-star seasons, obviously was the World Series hero, but then something else was like, in 2021, I mean, this team obviously had no hope. this team was, nothing. And he kind of came in and gave you something to watch, right? Like gave you something to be excited about. So I went with him. Obviously, I know we're not talking about the current team, but I hate to see how it's going right now for someone that's a franchise legend, and who knows what the end is going to look like, but I went ahead and put him on this list.
And from I've never met him, I've never been at an event with him, but from everything I've read, heard, what a nice guy. I mean, who was Asuna was talking about how him and Leote really kind of took him under his wing at the in spring training, and I hope for so many reasons that Dolly gets going. I mean, obviously I'm a Ranger fan. I don't want them to win, but I also think that the fandom, maybe I'm just on X too much, but the fandom is in such full of hate right now for Simeon and for Dolly that I'm choking them virtually every time. It's unbelievably disrespectful in my opinion. Because he's a stud. He's been unbelievable. And what a steal for my Rangers. I mean, we got him for nothing basically. The Cardinals who are coming to town, we can say thank you for that. Hopefully you can stuff it right back in their face over the next 3 days. Did I get to everybody? I got everybody on that one, right? I think I did. All right, let's move on. We're doing well here. 54 people are here. 7 on YouTube, 1 on Twitch, 46 on X. Please give everybody on the stream a follow on X. Give them some love. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jeff. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Okay, next we go to manager. Now, I'm going to lead off with Bruce Bochy is going to the Hall of Fame. I'm saying that because I'm guessing my Ranger crew here is going to say that's how baseball go with Ron Washington. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out here in a minute. But Bochy is getting so much hate on X right now too that I'm going insane. By the way, cool bobblehead, right? Was that one of the best bobbleheads? I like that bobblehead. Who are you going with? I don't know who I started with last time. Haley, who's your manager? Is it Wash? Is it?
It is not.
Bochy?
It's Fauci.
There you go.
Trust me, I did want to say Wash, and I met him a few times when he was with us. Met him again, of course, when he was with Atlanta. But I'm glad he finally got his ring.
Yeah.
Glad he couldn't do it with us.
Yeah.
But I'll take Bochy over Wash any day.
Did you see the video of him and Judge when Wash walked him for the second time in 2 innings? That was pretty good.
Wash was dying laughing.
I love Wash. Man. Before I get to Kane and Rip, I'm just going to say it. I love Ron Washington. I love Ron Washington. When he was the manager of the Rangers, he drove me crazy with some of his decisions. I didn't understand stuff in game. I would go crazy. Now, obviously, the coach that is Ron Washington is elite. I mean, maybe Hall of Fame level coach, but manager, I've never thought so. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I've never thought so. Bruce Bochy, first ballot Hall of Famer. Kane, did you go with Bochy? You go with Wash? Did you go off the board with somebody else?
So I actually did go with Wash.
Wow, tell me why.
Just again, all-time winningest manager. When I think of a staple of the era that we're talking about, I went with Wash, but it hurt. It hurt my heart not to go with Bruce Bochy. Honestly, like I got a Bruce. I'll tell a Bruce Bochy story. I mean, I have plenty of Bruce Bochy stories, but
Let me hear it. Oh, I love Bochy. I want to hear it.
When the Rangers hired Bruce Bochy, obviously from a baseball perspective, you're thrilled, but it's like it's one of the greatest managers in the history of baseball. I was not expecting him to be as cool as he is.
He's hilarious, right?
He's so funny. When he said bussin' the other night, like
yes.
He's so
I had to look it up.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what happens in the game, like he's not going to give you a bad interview. He's going to keep it real. He interacts with the media off camera. Like it's more than you guys see. Like I remember at FanFest, he came in there and was just sitting with us in the little workroom that we were in, just chopping up. Like he's like the coolest guy.
Yes.
So it hurt not to go with him. But when we were thinking of the time period we were talking about, I went with Wash.
I've got a couple good Bochy stories. One that involves Dave Roberts in spring training that I've told on a couple things. I don't know that any of you three would have heard it, but we don't have time right now. I want to get to Rip, but we'll tell that story at some point. Rip, who's the manager of the quarter century for the Rangers in your opinion?
So I went with Wash as well. For what he did in 2010 and 2011 to take the Rangers back-to-back World Series appearances. And then how can you not just love him for his antics on the top step of the dugout when he's just like, doing this number,
Right.
and it was hilarious to watch them do that. And it just, you gotta love the guy. I mean, he got it, like y'all mentioned, he got his ring in 2021 with the Braves, so that's always great. But I mean, just seeing his energy that he had inside in the dugout on the top step, 9 in and 9 out, that's why he's my top pick.
Jason in the chat drops a Bobby V. Jason said that before he typed it in there, he went and got his fake glasses and put them on. I can't see him, but I know that's what you're wearing, Jason. If you know Bobby V, you get that joke. If you don't, that's okay. I think, there's a charity. Everybody's going, I think it's today actually. And the bidding is on Eric Nadel, dinner with Eric Nadel, and all these things. The dinner I want to bid on is Bochy in Washington and me. I would love to sit there and just listen to those stories. Bochy loves wine, so bring him some French wine and get him talking about baseball and get Wash talking about baseball. That would be a good day. I would love that. Let's keep it right. I got to everybody right. Just yell at me if I skip. So I don't feel like I'm skipping anybody, but I might. Next, you think of the Rangers, and in the history of the Rangers, you don't think starting pitching, but holy crap, you do this year. I think you could say, if you wanted to be a little bit funny, oh geez, why do I keep doing that? Holy cow, I am too stupid to find the buttons. You could easily say and only get a little bit of a laugh. Eovaldi, DeGrom, Mahle. Should I say Patrick Corbin? Maybe I will. Jack Leiter, okay, it's a little early. But this one's a little tougher than the offense. Who wants to go first on the starting pitching for the quarter century?
I'll go first. I'll volunteer to go
Go
first.
for it, King. Go for it.
I have Yu Darvish, obviously. Went Kenny Rogers. Went with Colby Lewis.
No.
And then the last two, not as long of tenures, but what they did for the franchise in the playoffs, went with Eovaldi. And then I also, wild card, kind of fifth starter, I was trying to decide. I went Cliff Lee. I know he was here for, half a year, but bringing the franchise to the first World Series, I mean, he was unbelievable in that postseason run. So I went with him. You can argue that, but that was my 5.
That's good. That's a good list. Rip, what are your thoughts?
I have to echo that. I mean, that's pretty much my list as well. I mean, Yu Darvish, obviously, Kenny Rogers, C.J. Wilson, for what he did. Cliff Lee, like you mentioned, is his short time. I mean, yeah. I mean, if I want to go, I mean, all the pitchers that I like were like prior to 2000. Kevin Brown and obviously Nolan Ryan as well too. But I mean. The starting 5 that the Rangers have now, and with Eovaldi and like you mentioned, Tyler Mahle and all these guys, I mean, those all can fit in as well too. I mean, it's a pretty elite group when you look at it.
I mean, this year is so frustrating for so many reasons, but the elite level that we're pitching at in 2025, so awesome. But it's just it's harder to watch the offense struggle. We got DeGrom and Eovaldi and all them being studs. Anyway, Haley, who are your 5?
Well, like you said earlier with Wyatt, I think Jack Leiter is for sure going to be on the next 25.
Oh, I love that.
I would love to include Jack now, but he's going to be on the next 25. And the only one I changed is Colby Lewis. I do love him, but Lance Lynn. I put Lance Lynn in his place.
Nice. Very nice. So for me, there's 2 names that didn't get mentioned at all, and they're on. Well, if you go down to the list, I'm showing it right now, where he says apologies to Kevin Millwood, not who I was going to say, C.J. Wilson, who I love, but the other 2 that would make my team, Martin Perez and Derek Holland. Martin Perez is underrated. I loved him. I don't think he had a good year when we were good, so I don't think he gets the love. But Martin Perez is pretty elite. And if you look at the top 25, you go on like Baseball Reference, top 25 starting pitching stats, he's on there all the time. And for me, Dutch, watch out.
Sorry.
My
boyfriend's distracting me.
What Dutch did in the World Series is underappreciated. He was unbelievable, and I love the guy. I'm a unapologetic Derek Holland super fan. Loved him, still do. And the starting pitching for the 25 years wasn't that great. So I'm going to put my favorite guys on there. Martin Perez and Derek Holland are those 2. So that's where I'm going. My buddy Bill, birthday boy, says, so I'll just ask you guys, he wants to know, Do the people on the panel know the name of the Hall of Fame player who had over 500 home runs and over 2,500 career hits that managed the Rangers? I'll just let you blurt it out. Do you know?
Come on, Ted Williams.
There you go. There you
Come on.
go. We're 3,000 hits, wasn't it? Had to be right. That's an easy one, right? Yeah, I think he managed here and he said it's too hot. Screw you guys and bailed. I think that's the way the story goes. And well,
That was for one season, right?
I think it was it 2? I don't know. You might be right. I don't know. I thought it was 1, but it might be 2.
Because that was with the Washington Senators when they came to Texas and changed the name to the Rangers. I think that was
Tell
the
you what,
time.
think about the early Texas Rangers managers. I mean, going back into the old guy talk for a minute. Ted Williams, Whitey Herzog, Billy Martin. I mean, that's insane. And nobody even talks about that. The Rangers' history, I think, underappreciated. I mean, I guess they were just so bad for so long that nobody wants to talk about it. All right. Whatever.
Can I jump in real quick?
Please.
Since my boyfriend did distract me, I didn't get to say that I love Derek Holland with all of my heart. He was my first autograph, first player I ever met. Met him at my very first game. He was my honorable mention for my pictures. He didn't make my list though. And then the Stars finally responded to being down 3-0.
Yes.
Now it's 3-1.
Haley, the official. I don't know what I like better, the noise or your face. That was great. Oh, that was too funny.
I have to deal with that every game, every single game. Win or
like,
lose, he talks crap about the Stars.
Was he booing or is that like the horn because the Stars scored?
No, he was booing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
There's no positive spin on that.
I'm not much of a hockey fan. I'm sorry.
Rip, I'm on only the playoffs hockey fan, so I'm one of those guys that be playing. Playoff hockey is pretty fun. And by the way, that reminds me, what a good segue for Kane. Kane, Kane, you follow and cover both the Rangers and somebody else. Why don't you tell the people while we're kind of talking about hockey real fast?
Yeah, so not hockey. I actually covered the Dallas.
I know, I threw myself off there, didn't I?
I cover the Dallas Wings, and it's so fun. I mean, it's great. I mean, obviously this year, Paige Beckers has just been amazing to cover, and seeing the media flood in and getting to go to the Caitlin Clark games last year was amazing. I got to see Angel Reese's WNBA debut. And say what you want about her, but I'm an LSU fan, so like getting to see her win the national championship for us and then getting to cover her first WNBA game was great. Got to cover the playoff run 2023, but it's amazing. It's so fun. I love basketball. I always have. And so to kind of tie it back to baseball is like a lot of times I feel like I talk about basketball with the Ranger players and people I work with, maybe like more than baseball. Like there's a lot of guys that really love basketball like I do. So it's super fun. And I know the playoffs have been going at it. I'm also a Houston Rockets fan, and Marcus Simeon is a Golden State Warriors fan.
Oh,
when we played in the first round of the playoffs, we were, going at it a little bit. Unfortunately, Warriors did get us in 7, but yeah, it's super fun. And it's a little sneaky fun fact. A lot of the guys on the team really like basketball.
I didn't know that, but that does not surprise me. And Marcus, he played some ball, and he's from the Bay Area, so I didn't know he was a Warriors fan, but that certainly makes a lot of sense. I think it's I don't know, to kind of move it back to baseball a little bit. We're talking about women's basketball there for a little bit. Do you guys hear the news about the softball league? I'm kind of intrigued by that. I'll be real. I don't care if you guys hate me for this. Women's basketball kill me. I would rather go to the dentist, and I really don't want to go to the dentist. But that's not for all women's sports. That's women's basketball. I love me women's soccer, and I love softball. Well, I don't love softball, but I enjoy softball very much. I would love to see this get big. They're not coming here. They'll have 3 games down in Round Rock. But is anybody interested in that? I'm way off topic here, but I kind of am.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah,
I'd watch.
I'd be excited to check it out. I mean, it sounds fun. I mean, women's sports in general is awesome.
I think there's plenty of good women's sports. Basketball, Kane, I mean, you're gonna have to have. I get bored to death. But I'm gonna pick on your Angel here. I'm glad she's got her rebound stats are interesting. But they're mostly her misses. I'll just throw it out there. Kane, you can respond because I don't want to be a jerk, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, no, I am excited to see the softball. I think for a lot of time, obviously the pinnacle of softball was college, and now you hope to see a pro league start up. You want to see these players, these very talented players, be able to kind of move past that. I am a once a year softball watcher in the college playoffs, and I only watch LSU play, which they do not do very good in the college softball playoffs. So we need to get our act together. I don't cover LSU sports or LSU softball, and I'm not on the scene, and I don't know. But should they get a new coach? I kind of think so. I don't know. My LSU fans let me know. But yeah, I'm excited to see that. Glad the MLB is partnering with that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm actually excited about that. Who's the young lady that matches that's in college softball right now? They like tried to walk her out 80 times and then she had a blast the first.
I know you're talking about. Yeah,
I'm not thinking of her name, but that was a great video, and I was showing my daughters that just I don't know, like a week ago or whatever. All right, back on topic. 56 people here live on X, 8 on YouTube, 1 on Twitch. I'm glad you're all here. My name's Jeff Bates at Texas Clubhouse. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Haley, Kane, Rip, the scrolling along the bottom there. Well, not along this bottom, along the actual bottom. Scott has their X profiles and other stuff. At the end of the show, we'll have them promote themselves again. Let me catch up in chat real fast. Mike Madonna's on a dome. Okay. Palindrome. Wow. I haven't seen that word in forever. I'm a Thunder fan, and they are in the finals. I remember you said that, Karam. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Andrew Haney's a Thunder fan. I did not know that. Okay. Yeah. Look, is anybody watching the NBA right now, or anybody? A lot of people are watching the NHL. I haven't watched an NBA playoff game all year. Are any of you guys in?
I won't lie. I do. I've watched almost all of them. And it's what's funny is like they're obviously the same time as the Ranger game. So like on my laptop while I'm at work or phone is always basketball. Like I love it. I've watched pretty much all of it. We were at the ballpark when the Mavs won the draft lottery.
That is nuts, right?
It was insane. I mean, everyone was talking about it. I actually got to tell one of my, I don't know if y'all know Michael. I'm throwing him under the bus. You know, I don't think he's watching. He told me he wasn't going to be tuned in, but he did not know the Mavs won the draft lottery. I actually informed him that the Mavs won the draft.
Who are you talking about? I missed the name. Who did you?
Michael Beer, Foul Territory.
Oh, wow.
Nice. I did inform him that the Mavs won the draft lottery. He didn't know. I'll throw him under the bus.
I'm a big fan, man. I follow him, and I think I love what he does.
I told him, I said, bro, I can't believe what just happened. And he just stared at me. And I was
like, tell him I said, how dare you not watch the show?
I was like, the Mavs just won, and everyone was talking about it. Everyone. That was
crazy. Crazy. I mean, what were the odds? Like 1.8%? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But and that's another thing. I like to complain about how stupid people on X are, including me. But the we haven't been to the moon, Bigfoot is real, and the NBA is fake stuff just drives me nuts. And no one's going to comment on that. I don't think so. We'll move on. Jenny Finch should be convinced. Spokesman. I was a big Jenny Finch fan. I'm down for her being involved. The 3 games that'll be in Texas are all down in Round Rock. Rip, I don't remember where you live, but I think that's in your neck of the woods. So
that's a couple hours, but yeah, I'll have to.
It's 3 hours from me, so I guess not as close as I thought it was.
Down.
All right, let's get to the bullpen, shall we? Levi Weaver's article, the all quarter century team for the Texas Rangers. He's got the bullpen, and you know what? It's not elite. Francisco Cordero, Neftali Feliz, Francisco Jose Leclerc, Joe Nathan, Sporzy, CJ Wilson, who a lot of people forgot was a closer for a while for us, and Alex Claudio. I'll go first because it takes me a while to hit these buttons. Claudio and Leclerc probably would be my 2. I think that Joe Nathan was the best. Oh my gosh, I cannot find this button to save my life. I think Joe Nathan's the best name on that list all time, but I don't think his best years were with us. We didn't, you look at Jose Leclerc's all-time numbers, and he's very high up on the all-time list. I might go with Leclerc, and I thought Claudio was very underrated. Thought he was great, actually. Boy, I'd like to just throw Emmanuel Clase's name on there, but I can't because of Corey Kluber and that trade. This one's a mess. Our bullpen is a mess on this list. Not well, no comment on this one this season. I don't know where we started the last time. So Haley, who makes your bullpen and why?
Only when I'm changing out, I have respect for Claudio, but I want Alexio Gondo.
Nice.
That's it. I'm fine with everyone else.
Rip.
I'm perfectly fine with what the article says. Obviously, the Neftali Feliz is obviously your closer. I mean, but I know Josh Sports and Jose Leclerc are 2 guys that are probably, I would say they're instrumental in the 2023, especially Josh Sborz, throwing the last pitch, getting the final out, throwing the glove up and, or down, wherever that glove went,
Iconic photo anyway. Very iconic photo.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. And what what Jose Leclerc did, especially in the ALCS against the Astros, was, I mean, truly, truly remarkable for what he did.
We don't get where we needed to go without him. There's no doubt.
Exactly. So, but other than that, I mean, I wouldn't change anything on the bullpen.
Kane.
Yeah, I actually came up with the exact same bullpen as Levi. I did not read the article, I will admit.
Oh, wow. And you had the same list on the band. That's crazy.
I with the same bullpen as Levi. So,
wow.
I was honored to come up with that. But yeah, I mean, not great. Not a great bullpen, obviously.
Historically, we haven't had anybody. That's why that trade, Corey Kluber's 1 inning for Emmanuel Clase, I think.
Well, and something else a lot of people don't think about is Pete Fairbanks was here as a Ranger for a minute too. And
Pete Fairbanks is going to be available here in a month or so, probably, if the Rays go back to what I think they should be. I love that guy. He's hilarious and very good. Jason says, Kenny freaking Rogers. A name on the bullpen that I didn't add, but I thought about 1 year, but unbelievable. Kirby Yates. I mean, because the names aren't, there's no Bruce Sutter and Lee Smith on there. There's no Rich Gossage and Mariano Rivera on there. I thought about saying, how about Kirby Yates? It was 1 year, and it was shockingly good. It was amazingly good. But in the end,
I'm surprised the Rangers didn't pick him back up. I mean, I thought he was a pretty vital piece. Yeah, the money, of course. Yeah,
money.
Yeah,
but I mean, you spent all that money to get a World Series ring. Keep it going. Keep the the train moving. So I'm surprised they didn't pick him back up.
I want and Haley, you're welcome to mention or jump in on this too. But both of you, I'd like to hear your thoughts. But my thoughts on that are simply, Mr. Davis said, we're going to stay under the number, and frankly, Tyler Mahle's pitching so well they're going to have trouble staying under the number. Even when the Mariners took the money, I'm shocked that somebody did, and that's a great thing for us as it relates to maybe us getting somebody at the the trade deadline. But with Mahle getting another $5 million added onto that, and I know the numbers everywhere you read they differ, and I don't want to dive into the weeds too much, but I'll ask you, Kane, and Haley can dive in here in a minute. Are we going to add anyone, in your opinion, at the trade deadline? Because my opinion is we're not adding any money of today. The Dodgers went out and got Diaz, who's actually been horrible, and the Reds are kind of giving up on him. But I would have loved to have had him. I think it's $4.5 million and then 2 arbitration years, but we can't afford it, right? Am I crazy, Kane? And then anybody else who wants to dive in?
Well, I think I'll say this about the trade deadline. I think the month of June is huge in terms of what direction this team is going. Because obviously you could be looking to get rid of some people at the trade deadline. If you're looking to add,
is there any money to add anybody? Is there any wiggle room at all? I don't think there is.
Yeah, there's not much. They're not going to be at the top of the market like they were in.
They're not even going to be in the middle of the market. They're going to be.
Yeah. And to Chris Young's credit, though, like if the offense rebounds the way that we think it could, we thought it would coming into the year, they don't have to go out and make that 2023 edition where it's like, okay, our rotation is not good enough to win the World Series. And we need to go out and we need to totally revamp it. Like, it's really not. The bullpen, like, I don't think Chris Young gets enough credit for the way that he's totally revamped this bullpen. I mean, these are mostly guys that the average fan has never heard of, right? Like Hobie Milner's come in and he's thrown the ball really well. The average fan probably doesn't know about him. Even Robert Garcia, they're probably like, who is this guy? They have guys that have, obviously they've had struggles at times, as every bullpen will, but they've been really good, and Garcia's been really good. Obviously, you hope Martin can come back and be, what it is, but it's not like 2023 where I described this to someone the other day as like, it's seemingly at some points in 23, you were just throwing a dart at the board and just seeing like, who's going to close, who knows. It's not like that. So if that, kind of going back to the deadline in your question, if everything goes the way, if this team is in contention, the offense rebounds, there's not a lot that like you need to add. It's just a matter.
The fan base thinks we're going to, if we're in it, I think the fan base believes we're going to go add a name or two. And there's no money. I don't love the luxury tax. Matter of fact, I hate it, and I don't love that Mr. Davis wants to stay under it. But it's because it's not my money. But he said what he said, and unless he's going to go against that with 3 months left in his 2-year plan, doesn't seem likely to me. Why would we expect him to go get it? There's no money. We'd have to move some dollars to receive some dollars. It just doesn't seem likely to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect a crazy trade deadline.
Yeah, I was going to throw out there one more thing, and then I'll ask you, Haley, on your thoughts on this. I think we've got 3 closers, and I think we could still have I wrote about this the other day. I still think we can have an elite bullpen. I know people are going to trash me on that, but they have already on X. I think we can still have an elite bullpen this year. That's if Martin is healthy, which it looks like he might be. Garcia stays what he's been because he's great. And Kumar, we're not going to let Kumar go 120 innings, right? What's the most innings he's going to throw this year? 120 is probably it. So the answer to me, and I know CUI said no, and I know Bochy said they haven't even talked about it, or I might have that backwards, but it seems to me that you put Kumar, and I don't even care what order, 7, 8, 9. You give Kumar and Martin if he's healthy, and Garcia the back 3 innings, and I think that makes a freaking ton. And I'm not even mentioning John Gray because I don't know when he comes back. I think they're both July, they being Bradford and him. But I think there's enough arms to put that together and be really good. Haley, I kind of skipped over you. Anything you want to say on any of the stuff we were talking about? And then I'll just go around. You can say whatever you want, and then we'll close up.
Kumar kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Every game I've gone to see him play, we lose. And he only goes, 2-3 innings, 4 innings max. It's not fun watching Kumar. I just don't. I'm not a big fan of him. If we move him to closer, I think it'd be cool to see him in the later innings, see what he can do there. But I don't think we're picking anyone up at the trade deadline. And also the people screaming on X, trade Garcia, trade Semien. Who the heck is going to pick them up in this slump? And how much are they going to be worth in their slump? Yes, I know they have World Series. They have a great career behind them. They're in a slump. Yeah. What, moving 100 miles away to a different state and playing somewhere else is going to get him out of that? I doubt it.
I love Marcus, and I believe he's going to come out of it.
Absolutely.
But the thought that anyone would, outside of taking on the salary, take that contract, that's just stupid. And Dolly, I'll be interested to see what we do at the end of this year. If he doesn't come out of it, I don't know. If he does, next year's the last year, almost assuredly. So I don't know. That's a whole other conversation. But
on paper, going into the season, we were supposed to be Bruce Bochy's bounce back season, like he always does, like he did with the Giants. But everyone's in a slump, and I don't get it. But
I think it's math. I think that in 2025, I'll speak for myself. I won't speak for anyone else. I thought that the Rangers would be a top 5, top 10 at the worst offense. I still think that's going to happen. I look at the AL West. Is Cal Raleigh going to hit 60 home runs? No. He's not. He's not. Is Bregman or Tucker all of a sudden going to become an Astro again? They're not. So when I look at Berger, Semien, Seager, Young, Langford, Evan Carter, Dolly, Chaim Higgy, I guess Josh Smith is the one I didn't even mention. He's going to be in that rotation somewhere. I am optimistic, but I have a brain and eyes that, evidence demands a verdict. This lineup is the best in the West. Of those 3, I think we're obviously the best offense. Am I delusional? I don't think so. I still look at this. I don't think the starting staff is going to be, June, July, August, September as good as they've been April and May, but they're still going to be elite. And I still believe in the pen. I do. I love Robert Garcia. I love Chris Martin. Milner's been unbelievable. He's always been pretty good, but he's been unbelievable for us. Webb's fine. Armstrong's fine. We don't have that. Well, Emmanuel Clase in the back there. And I kind of feel bad for Luke Jackson because that curveball plays, but he's getting lit right now. I mean, it is what it is, but he'll be all right. But we don't have that guy at the back. And I just don't think there's any money in the cupboard for it. Anybody want to take it? Let's go with you, Rip. I feel like I haven't let you talk in a while. Any thoughts at all on the Rangers right now? And then we'll end it with you, Rip, on where can people find you? And then we'll go to Kane, we'll go to Haley, and I'll say goodnight.
I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head as far as the moves. Like you mentioned, they would have to get rid of money to take on more money. I don't see that happening. I think at some point, you got to get healthy first. You need Corey Seager back in the lineup, and hopefully that will have him just being his presence in the lineup will maybe give this lineup a spark that they need to get things going offensively. As far as the bullpen is concerned, I mean, maybe like Haley, like you mentioned, throwing Kumar Rocker in there somewhere. Um, you know, obviously the innings, the elbow, all that, the shoulder, all of his injury prone problems, that's something they're gonna have to watch. Hopefully Jack Leiter can kind of pick it up a little bit. I saw that little clip that he was on MLB Network Radio, kind of talking about mechanics and whatnot. So hopefully, if he can get it going, that would be great. At some point, I think there's going to be a call up. I know, Jeff, you're pretty much big on Sebastian Walcott. Maybe possibly bringing him. I think it would be maybe after the All-Star break, though.
You're talking about this year, Sebastian Walcott?
Yes. I know he's slated probably 2026, but
he's
who
got big
knows?
power, but he's got a little swing and miss right now too. He needs to get the average up over 250 at Double A. I mean, I love him long term.
Yeah.
And what is he? He's like 12. I mean, my gosh, I think he's 19 throughout this whole year. I'm pretty sure. So I love him. I might personally, I'd tap the brakes on him this year. I think that he's the answer in right field at the end of next year. We get Dolly this year and next year, and then he's free to go on the market. I think if everyone stays healthy. I mean, if Josh Young has a career ender, if Seager has a career ender, he obviously slips over to their third or short. The guy can pick it at short, but to me, the interesting thing down in the minors is probably the arms. Teatto has been not good this year, but unbelievable coming into the year. I thought there might be a play there. I'm a big fan of Mark Church. Boy, I lost his name there for a minute. I think Mark Church is going to be significant. He'll get significant innings this year. I still think that. I know he had a little trouble in April. And there's a couple other arms down there that I think could be now guys. I do. And frankly, I'd let him go. I even put him in high leverage positions because we need some depth. I like the arms that we've talked about in the pen. I don't like our depth because after Armstrong, I guess it's a pretty far drop. I think that some guys down in AAA might need to be the answer. Rip, where can people find you? I've got your X rolling along the bottom there, but where can people find you on the internet?
Yeah, you can follow me on X at Rip Griffin 3. Follow me, I'll give you a follow back. Follow me at Texas Baseball Report on trying to grow the YouTube channel, so you can follow me there. X, Instagram, all the social media platforms, and also over at Rip Griffin Digital Marketing as well. They're on X and Instagram. So
I saw this one guy, really good looking. He looked a lot like me, who sometimes, not very often, but sometimes writes over on your Texas Baseball Report too. And I appreciate you letting me put articles over there.
Anytime, if anybody ever wants to dive into writing and needs a place for it to go, send it over. I'll be more than happy to put it on the site.
Love it. And I'll say it again. Rip does a great job with the college baseball stuff. Give him a look. I mean, right now, did you say it's tomorrow? Does it start tomorrow, Rip? Is that what you said?
Longhorns, since they are in the Austin Regional, so they are hosting. So they play tomorrow at 1:00 against Houston Christian. So college NCAA college tournament kicks off. So it's going to be a fun trip to the road to Omaha is officially underway.
That's a trip I want to make someday. I want to go up there and watch that. That'd be a blast. TCU, the local team right down the road from me, Fort Worth, Corvallis, right? Or Oregon State, if I think that's what I saw.
Yeah.
Haley.
Fun to watch for sure.
Haley, thanks for being here tonight. What did you want to say to end, and where can people find you, and what should I call you, because Autograph Hound is no good anymore?
I'll come up with something. I'm not sure, but I'll get back to you.
Fair.
I post on X sometimes. I post on TikTok sometimes. TX_Haley on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and TX Haley on TikTok. I suck at posting, but if you'll ever see me at the ballpark, please come up. I've met a couple people off of X actually at the ballpark. They know me as the Nathan Eovaldi lineup card girl.
Wow, that's fun. Have you got it signed yet?
I did, day 6.
I don't think I knew that. Good for you. I don't think maybe I forgot, but that's awesome.
I did.
Yeah, did you get the Maddox? Did you get the Maddox lineup card? Is that what it was?
Maddox? Wait. Huh?
What lineup card did you get of him? Was it
Eovaldi's shutout in Cincinnati.
Was that the Maddox? I think it was. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? We'll talk. I think you got the Maddox.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's good.
Am I making a fool of myself right now?
Not at all. Okay, I think we got that. Kane, who are you? Where can they find you? And what did you want to we'll end the show with?
Yeah. So you guys can find all my stuff on Twitter. I post all my articles there. Go check them out at the Fans First Sports Network. Try to at least have something up for you guys every day. For most days, you'll find something from me. Trying to post on TikTok. I know you guys like the behind the scenes content. Trying my best to post that up. And since we're talking about college baseball, got to shout out my LSU Tigers. Come on, boys, let's go get number 8. Road to Omaha starts tomorrow, so hopefully they can get it done. But yeah, again, if you see me at the ballpark too, I always go get concession stand food because I like it a lot. So I always go get that an hour before the game. So if you see me, come say what's up. Someone came and said what's up yesterday, so that was cool. But yeah, I'll always love to talk, and I love to see everyone out there.
And I haven't been to as many games this year as I was last year, but next time I'll throw you a message. I'd love to grab a selfie.
Right, let's do it.
Yeah, and I didn't realize the LSU thing. I don't know how I didn't know that, but there's a Smitty LSU jersey, I think, coming up. I bet that's I bet it's on your. Well, you're there every night. But.
Yes, that was a couple nights ago. I believe that was Tuesday.
Oh, I didn't even realize. Okay.
Yeah, LSU night. Hey, there we go. Go Tigers. Someone in the
Logan
chat.
knows. Member of the channel. Logan in the house.
No, but LSU night, it was amazing because I was walking the concourse to get
That's
food
right.
an hour before the game, and I mean the LSU fans flooded the stadium, and it wasn't even like they were wearing like the giveaway jersey that they gave out. Like they were just wearing other LSU gear. Like
that's awesome.
It was so awesome, so cool to see.
College sports is the best, isn't it? I love that so much.
Yeah, I have to say the first college game I ever covered was there in Houston at the Shriners Classic. It was between Texas and LSU, and to hear both fan bases going back and forth, that was just completely awesome here. So LSU brings it, that's for sure.
I went, and I didn't do it this year. So I had tickets that I didn't get to go. I don't remember what happened, but the year before I went. What is it? I want to call it the Kickoff Classic. That's not right. Whatever the one they do at the Globe Life Field where they got the 6 teams or the 8 teams or whatever playing. And I got to sit with some of the scouts. It was an amazing time. But my favorite part of it was what you just said, Rip. The insanity of the fan bases going back and forth. It was really fun. I got to see Enrique Bradfield. If you guys know prospects, he's a up and comer. He flies, man. He's going to steal a lot of bases if he makes the bigs. But anyway, we're getting into it too deep there. I said it would go an hour. It looks like we're about an hour 15. But Haley, Kane, Rip, thank you guys so much for doing this. I appreciate you guys. I hope. Guys, if you're in the chat, whether you're on X, let's do that again. 83 people are watching live, 74 on X, 8 on YouTube, just the one lonely person over on Twitch. Hello, person. Please give Haley and Rip and Kane some love. Follow them on X. Tell them you love them and tell them, well, if they were wrong, tell them you're wrong. I didn't hear anything that I thought was very wrong tonight. And I don't know Levi, but I'm going to send him a little note that we did this. So give him some love too. I don't know the man, but I've read his stuff a bunch of times. And with the Atlantic, and that they're owned by the New York Times, but he tweets. Well, he doesn't tweet a lot actually, but anyway, I'm going down a rabbit hole there. Anything anybody want to say before we close up?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love coming on. Always fun time. I love doing this stuff. So
me too, man. Me too. And I love that you guys said yes. I appreciate you. You three don't go anywhere. I'll say thank you to you again when we say goodbye to everybody. But if you're here, 76 on X, 9 on YouTube, 1 on Twitch. Follow them. Follow me. I'm at Jeff Bates on X. I'm at Texas Clubhouse, both on Twitch and on YouTube. And you don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Have fun storming the castle. See you next time. Rangers didn't score any runs tonight either, but maybe tomorrow. See ya. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you had a good time, whether we won or we lost. I guarantee I had a good time because you were here. I appreciate you being part of our Clubhouse crew. Whether you're on my YouTube channel at Texas Clubhouse or over on my Twitch, also at Texas Clubhouse, whether you watch on X at Jeff Bates on X, wherever, you're the best because you're here. You stayed all the way to the end. It means a lot. I'm going to drop my link tree right here so you can check me out other places. Listen, it just means a lot that you spend a little bit of your evening or your daytime with me here, watching a little baseball, talking a little baseball. I love this. I love building a community. I love watching baseball. I love talking baseball. And I'm just talking to myself if you're not here. So thank you. If you want to do anything cool for me, like the stream. Of course, I'd love it if you became a member of the channel and all those things. But the most important thing is you are here. I hope you come back again. I appreciate you. Have the best day ever. Go Rangers.